Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about conduit fill again, conductor fill, how many conductors you can fit in a conduit. Now, this is a little bit different than one we talked about before. You may have seen the other video where the conductors were different sizes and you had to figure out the cross-sectional area, add them all together, and then see what conductor size would be appropriate. Much, very complicated type of a process. This is much simpler. When they're the same size, it is much simpler. There is one pitfall, though, that you have to be aware of. There's something called a compact conductor, okay? And you'll see that every time there's an A, there's a C1, a C1A, a C2, a C2A, a C3, a C3A. Whenever they have an A and an asterisk, there's an asterisk next to all the A's. Where this, you got on here, where this table is used in conjunction with tables, blah, 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 the conductors installed must be of the compact type, okay? So these are compact conductors. So I mentioned this before when we were talking about conductor fill of conductors of different sizes, all right? And generally, they're not going to ask about compact, but be aware because you know, you might end up on the wrong table. You might see, okay, electrical metal tubing, EMT, great, I got EMT, but you got to make sure you're not in the compact because they are different numbers. So just be aware of that. For every type of conduit, for conductor fill, there's also a compact conductor fill as well. So make sure that you're on the correct table with that regard. Okay, so but other than that, it's actually pretty darn straightforward, and you should be able to get these questions without that much trouble. So for every for every um, item here, for every type of conductor, there is a table, and it's 2 or 3 pages. All right, so you have 2 or 3 pages which discusses and shows you how many conductors of the same size you can get into electrical metal tubing, EMT. Now there's also how many compact conductors you can get into EMT, which you can get more because they're more compact. Probably won't get a compact question, but I just want to make you aware of it. There's a bunch of tables. There's like 40, 35 or 40 different tables, each one of them 3 or 4 pages that gives you this information, but they're really easy to read. So here we go. We have electrical EMT. Here's your C1, all right, and it tells you what page it's on. And here's C1 right here. Okay, so you know this is EMT, and it tells you that. Where does that tell you that? It tells you that right here, electrical metallic tubing. There you go, EMT. And it is not the compact size because it's C1, not C1A. And then all you have to do, they'll tell you the insulation. Okay, so we got in here, let's just say it's THHW. Okay, so we got THHW right here. And they give you number 10 um, conductors. So we're going to use number 10s, and we have 20 of them. Okay, we have 20 of them. We have 20 number 10s that we have to put into a conduit. They're all the same size. They're THHW. And so all we have to do is just come across here till we find a number that's bigger than 20. All right. And there you go. 24. 14 won't work. 24 works. We go up to the top. And what is it? It's 1.25 inches. We can get 20 THHWs if they're all the same size into an 1.25 inch EMT conduit. And it's that simple. And you'll want more of these types of questions, I guarantee you. You won't want to do different size ones. So this is how many conductors of the same size you can fit in a conduit. And that's it. This was a short one. Do a few of those practice questions and make sure that you can find this stuff easily, and um, we'll move on to something else shortly. I appreciate your business. This has been Jack Sheffield, Jack the Exam Guy.